Firefighters showed up to a scene that looked like the end of the world. A set of high-rise buildings, under renovations, a fiery hellscape, and the firefighters were already losing the battle before they even left the station. You found Stashed. I'm Pat, firefighter and mechanical engineer. This fire broke out around 3 p.m. local time on November 26. It was in Hong Kong and it was in high-rise apartments that were built in the 80s. This is important because due to the age of the buildings, they were in the middle of a massive renovation. Unfortunately, that means the buildings were wrapped in a bamboo scaffolding. Now, the bamboo itself is pretty darn combustible, but to add fuel to the fire, mesh netting surrounded the scaffolding, and foam was used to protect apartment windows from the renovations themselves. Let's talk about bamboo. It's a hollow, fibrous tube, and when you stand it vertically, it becomes the perfect chimney. Once it ignites, heat and flame, they race straight up through it. Then you add the spacing of the scaffolding, the mesh netting wrapped around the whole structure, and you've created the ideal setup for a fast-moving exterior fire. This scaffolding is designed so workers can climb it easily, and unfortunately everything that makes it great for people makes it even better for fire. And the renovations don't just add fuel to the outside, they interfere with how people escape. Scaffolding blocks balcony, construction materials line hallways, temporary barriers redirect foot traffic, doors get propped open, or worse yet, blocked. All that can break down fire safety features that may have been in the original building itself. You can tell by watching the video clips that people didn't have clear, direct paths to get out. This complex has 8 towers, each roughly 300 feet tall, about 31 floors, and the entire complex houses around 4,000 people. It's going to be a while before we get any real answers, if we get any at all, but early reports say that the fire started somewhere on the exterior, inside that scaffolding area. And once it took off, it had a straight vertical path. When I initially saw this fire, I thought this was going to be another example of combustible material on the facade of a building. A fire mostly on the exterior, but that doesn't seem to be the case here. It really looks like the fire made its way into the structure itself, burning in multiple apartments almost on every floor. For firefighters, this is a losing battle from the start. The building is simply too tall. You can see the ladder trucks flowing water, but ladder trucks like this, they're typically only about 100 feet tall. There are taller ones, and I don't know exactly what this fire department has, but most you're reaching on a good day is about the 9th floor. The fire is much higher than that. So they're trying to punch water upward, way outside the angle that the truck was really designed for. Master streams are typically meant to flow water down on the fire, so be above the fire shooting downward, not lob water up into the sky. It's basically a desperation move, not an effective way to fight a fire. And realistically, there is no effective way to fight this type of fire. At the time of posting this video, almost a full day after that fire initially started, the fire is far from being out. They threw almost everything they had at this fire, more than 760 firefighters, over 120 fire apparatus, and multiple rescue teams working floor to floor inside smoke-filled towers trying to make rescues. This wasn't a handful of companies trying to get water on fire. This was a full-scale city response. And even with that kind of manpower, they were already behind. The building was just too tall, the scaffolding blocked access, and the fire itself was moving way too fast. If you're not a firefighter, it's hard to comprehend the amount of work that goes into trying to extinguish something like that. It's really an incident that you just don't want to have to respond to. Unfortunately, the death toll is rising fast. The last report I saw, 44 confirmed dead and almost 300 people missing. I'm typically an optimistic guy, but looking at the scale of this incident, I would expect the death toll to quickly hit triple digits. But for the survivors, they've likely lost everything. A situation where hundreds, possibly thousands of people are instantly homeless. This wasn't a normal building fire. This was a mass casualty event happening in the middle of a skyscraper. Using bamboo scaffolding seems to be the norm in this part of the world. It's unfortunate, but codes and standards, they're written in blood. Hopefully, the lessons learned from this fire will lead to more modern and less combustible materials used for construction sites like this in the future.